Okay, so quick follow up here. We're talking about Web Summit and where Web3 is such a major part of conversation in the whole event. That whole idea of a decentralized blockchain slash crypto powered internet, kind of replacing the current model of the internet. And this is an idea that really didn't have much traction for a long time because Google was inherently stable. So, as an internet kind of organizer, as one of the main managers of the entire global internet, Google had a really big vested interest between ad revenue and between like search traffic, and just the power of information itself to keep things stable, to keep it consistent, and keep it flowing. And then we have this sudden disruption with these AI tools and these AI search summaries. And one thing that I think that is really important to note is that Google had a ChatGPT equivalent several years earlier and chose not to release it. Now, I've heard a lot of reasons for that. One of the big ones is that they couldn't figure out how to monetize it based on the monetization model they had for like search and paid advertising, which sure, that's valid. But also one of the big things that Google has built their entire business on is making sure that when someone searches for something, they get the most accurate, best possible results. That's why Google search was able to dominate the internet more or less the way it has overnight and still is the king of the industry. And so really Google never should have blinked. They should have doubled down on that and said, hey, we chose not to release this back then. Here's why. And ChatGPT, this is cool. We're going to watch you and we're going to look for like good uses of this, but we're not going to change our fundamental services because this, and this. And another really important piece to mention is that AI tools, your large language models, they don't actually create anything. To this point, every single piece of information you get out of a ChatGPT summary or a Claude summary comes from somewhere else on the internet. So it's the current traffic models, the current web traffic is actually what makes it work. And Google's in large part responsible for that. And so talking about Web3, one of the reasons that Web3 and this decentralized, like redesigned internet is getting traction is that Google has decided to kind of threaten the entire integrity of the internet by reworking it in this way that is really AI-centric and using Gemini and AI summaries to compete with large language models rather than sitting in the leadership position that they still have. And so we're looking at this kind of unprecedented moment where the entire internet potentially could fall apart because of the decisions of the major companies that kind of run it right now. So, yeah, interesting times.